As in everyone's a human rights activist until the bag comes in.
Because everybody has access to everything.
Exactly.
So the exclusivity is gone and it means nothing anymore to be like a luxury designer, basically.
Literally.
Pretty Little Thing is actually almost worse than Shein.
It is very evident that when a celebrity designer takes over a house, the quality of design lacks.
Yeah.
It is the first collection, like it's hard to judge, but at the same time you'd rather make a lasting impression from your first collection than have something that's kind of mid.
Yeah. What's popping, Shudu Gang? It's your girl Shudu, and I'm back with another YouTube video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're part of the Shudu Gang, welcome back. Today's video is episode 3 of Shudu Talks, and we'll be talking about everything controversial, fashion related, controversial fashion opinions, real, real. These are my lovely guests. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Philip.
Hi, I'm Keegan.
Real. And yeah, guys, these are my besties with the mostest. And yeah, let's get right into it. So, topic number 1 is elitist fashion. Like, basically, we on this side, because you said yesterday that you're kind of against this, but basically, we believe that elitism should come back in fashion. It was, I feel like, a very important part of fashion.
It was the peak of fashion, like, let's be honest. Like, as much as inclusivity and accessibility to fashion is important today, like, people still crave that, like, exclusivity of fashion, being able to be the first to see something on the runway, being able to be the first to have something from a designer's collection. And I feel like, personally, for me, that's been taken away from fashion because of all of the accessibility. Like, everyone can get it, everyone can see it first, everyone can do, like, anything they want with fashion, and it's taken away from the exclusivity of fashion.
Literally, because I was even saying that, like, do you even feel like special when you're invited to a fashion show? Like, I'm sitting front row for like this Louis show, but Jack is watching it at home in his bed, you know, in the comfort of his own home. Like, it's like, should I even be here? Like, yes, it's nice to attend fashion shows and all these things, but it's like, I don't know, like, we have too much access to what goes on, you know. Maybe if there's like a somewhat of a delay, like, I don't know, I feel like it should be more exclusive, like how it was back then, you know, before live streaming and social media, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And like, one of the controversial opinions we shared yesterday was that, like, the whole social media thing should be delayed by at least a week.
Literally.
Like, we don't, like, as a designer, you like should stop allowing people in with their phones and letting people record and post to social media and all of, like, yes, advertising your brand is important, and if you're starting up, then you're going to need social media because everyone thrives on it today. But like, luxury designers like Louis Vuitton and Versace and all of those, like, stop letting people record your shows.
Yeah,
like let them
honestly.
like take their phones away.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like it's nice if you're like the first to see something. You get me? Like, those who are invited, like, okay, you guys get the inside scoop and everything. Then it can be released to the public like a week later, you know, all the publications can be posting about it, everybody that was invited, you know. Then it's like, it's building the hype, but like without everyone being in it, like, at the same time.
Exactly. And like, if you really want to be one of those designers that keeps like social media in the loop, you can post like sneak peeks all week to the lead up of the release of your collection.
Or even like behind the scenes stuff from the show and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like the lead up and the preparation. Even like, if you want to do behind the scenes of the making of your collection, like, you can do things like that to get people excited about your stuff. But you don't need to have somebody recording the entire show and putting it on YouTube for everybody to see. Like, you can literally post it on YouTube a week later and people will still see it. Everyone will still see it. But
they would still want to see it. The same, I feel like even more numbers.
Exactly. More people will want to see it because they weren't there to see it first.
They don't know. They have no idea. They don't even. There's no clue even about what your collection was about because who's really talking about it? It's top secret.
It's top secret.
And like also the people who you invite to the show, they invited for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
So I get where you're coming from.
Exactly. But you were a bit in the middle about it.
Yeah, because it's like nowadays everything's like cell phones, technology. I feel like it's hard to see fashion go back to that when everyone's like adapted so much to like the new age of technology and shit. And yeah, I think that companies do relate, or they use social media a lot, so that's kind of where a lot of the hype comes from. So if they're not like posting stuff from the show, people might not be excited. But like the more you guys speak about it, the more I'm agreeing. I'm leaning.
I don't know, like I feel like even the hype around your collection even dies out quicker
as well.
Yeah, because
exactly.
like people are seeing it everywhere now. They're seeing your stuff on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and then they're seeing the dupes.
It becomes mainstream.
Yeah, it's so
there's like
mainstream.
such a big spotlight on it that you can't see anything other than that for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and then it's gone.
Yeah, and then it's gone because
Exactly.
like we're always moving on to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. So yeah.
Okay, so like my topic, it's not really like controversial, but like I've been seeing a lot of these videos on like TikTok and Instagram, and it's like, oh, how to create a fashion brand, how to create like a streetwear brand, and then like the video is just like, oh, like buy blank t-shirts and screen print your design on the t-shirt, advertise it on TikTok and Instagram, and like, oh, you have a brand. And it's like, I feel like people have like this misconception of what like clothing is and like what the purpose of like a brand really is, because like you can make t-shirts and stuff, but like how long is that gonna like last out? And like I get it, because like Virgil was kind of the first of that wave to like start just buying blanks and screen printing stuff, and then it's like, oh cool, I've got Pyrex, I've got this, I've got that, but like I don't know, I feel like it leads people down the wrong path, because like fashion is such like a,
it's more than that.
It's such like a like open like space, like so much can be like done, and like yeah, you can go and buy blanks, but then like why not create your own pattern for your shirt? Why not create a silhouette that's different, something that stands out, something that's not, because like everyone wears a t-shirt, but
so
like what makes a t-shirt different? You know what I'm saying? And then what's so amazing about these screen printed t-shirts, that you're gonna have like an amazing brand like Off-White. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I feel like there's a lot more that goes into starting a brand and like doing things for the brand.
I agree, because I also hate like sometimes I'm like, am I being a hater? But then I'm like, but I'm not, because like you'll see on Instagram, oh my brand coming soon, and then it's hoodies and tees. Okay guys, there's nothing wrong with hoodies and tees, but like give me something. Like why would I want to spend 800 on your hoodie that you just put like whatever, like you just screen printed like whatever image? Like okay, yes, that's cool, but I can do that too, so why am I paying 800 for your hoodie? Like at least put like pockets on the sleeves, do something like that's different, like original, you're saying, like that's somewhat original, because everyone's just like, oh, I'm starting a brand and it's just graphic tees and like there's not even a concept, like what is your brand outside of that? Can you really tell us what it's about? You'll have this deep story, oh my brand, this, but the clothes don't really relay that message at all. It's just like basic shit.
It'll be like this brand is about self-empowerment and being the best version of yourself, and then the graphic tees is like a faded like Olympic flag logo with like track runners running around,
and it's like where's the correlation?
Where like you're saying one thing but then you like putting other stuff out, like I don't know.
I agree.
And I feel like because we have studied fashion for the past like 4 years, we know how how much work goes into actually making a brand.
Yeah.
That's more than just screen printing on a t-shirt. Like, yeah, it's a good way to start, and maybe you'll end up somewhere like Virgil uploaded. But the thing is like, you can get screen printed t-shirts from Cotton On. You can get them from like factory Mr. Price everywhere.
And like, you're not beating those prices as well.
Exactly.
You go into
more.
a Cotton On and like you can get like a screen printed shirt for like $200.
Exactly.
And like, people who are starting their brand now are like, no, like, we need to make money, so they're not gonna charge you $200 for a shirt.
They're gonna charge you more. Right? They're gonna, like their website is gonna be like $350 for a screen
there's like screen printed shirts for like 800 rand.
Literally,
and you're like, bro,
okay,
it's a cotton t-shirt. Like,
literally,
exactly. Because also
that's
also what irritates me with these brands. Like, most of them don't even focus on quality. Okay, let's say your thing, whatever, it's like something simple. At least give me a quality tee, like something that's gonna last. Now you're giving me like, you can feel like even it's like in a year, the graphics gone. Like, why am I paying that? Like, make me want to pay that money for your item, your product. Give me value of product. And you guys, or most brands that are like that, don't give value for the product. But one brand that is doing that low key, in SA that I like, even though I don't have anything from there, sponsor me, guys. Sponsor me, guys. Like, give me, I will rock your merch. But public domain, remember I was telling you about public domain?
Oh yeah.
Some of their stuff is just tees and like, what is it? And hoodies, but then they have a message. Like, even with the stuff that is on, like, they have a clear message. Even when you go on their page, like, you can see like what it's about, concept, and then they're building on that. From what I've seen, especially recently from shoots and stuff that they've been doing, they're adding on more things outside of how they started. So it has to be like that. Like, give us something. It can't just be bland. Like,
exactly. Like, show growth in your company. Like, show that your brand is going somewhere further than just tees and hoodies.
You know, you don't want to be grouped like with everyone else, like that's just making tees and hoodies.
Exactly. So one of the biggest ones, and it's actually happening right now, is Naomi Campbell is obviously one of the supermodels of the world, but on top of that, she's like a human rights activist, eco-friendly activist, things like that. Like, she's into all of, you know, the greener world kind of things. But recently, they've announced that Naomi Campbell is doing a collaboration with Pretty Little Thing, which is an online shopping store like Shein. And we all know the controversy around Shein and their quality of their products and what they do to the environment, as well as their working conditions and all of that. And Pretty Little Thing is actually almost worse than Shein. Like, they do low quality, like high cost, low quality products. They are like complicit in greenwashing, which we learned about last term or something like that, where like brands will claim to be eco-friendly, but then everything that they're doing is hurting the environment. And their working conditions also like horrible for their staff. The staff, it's like very much like Bangladesh, Bangladesh sweatshop kind of thing. And so like, I don't understand why Naomi Campbell, of all people, would want to ruin her career by partnering, and her reputation by partnering and collaborating with a brand like that. Because, but also like, the reason that is controversial, that is my controversial opinion, is because I don't think any type of like A-list high class celebrity / supermodel should be doing those kind of collaborations.
But like, Courtney did the same thing with Boohoo. But apparently they are like, I don't know, like,
I thought it was in the
rectifying their ways or something like that. Like, their working conditions, quality, blah blah blah. But I don't know. I didn't do much research, so I don't want to speak on that. But I don't know. I feel like people really just don't care. Honestly, like, people just don't care. And I'm not saying Naomi Campbell doesn't care, but maybe she doesn't care enough. Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes people just do certain things to still be relevant. I'm not saying Naomi Campbell isn't relevant, but she's not as relevant to our generation as like maybe Kendall or Bella. You get me? So it's like, how do I still stay relevant? You know, reaching different audiences, but like, you know, I don't know. So I don't know what her thought process was with that. But like I get why it's confused. It's like you can't be standing for all these things and then go and collaborate with a friend. That kind of is like the opposite of what you stand for.
Exactly. I think like from what I saw, a lot of people are like claiming that she's doing it because it's a partnership that's going to launch just after the release of that Vogue documentary with the supermodels of the 90s. So like Christy Turlington, Linda Evangelista, Claudia Schiffer, Cindy Crawford, Naomi Campbell, not Claudia Schiffer. Well, either way, like it's that documentary that like follows the lives of the 90s supermodel and like the era that was the supermodel era and all of that. So a lot of people think that she's doing it to try and cause controversy after the release of that documentary to try and kind of make it not as popular. I don't know why though, because they just
that
did a
wouldn't
Vogue
make sense.
cover for it as well.
Because wouldn't that also hurt her?
Exactly,
like,
it's gonna hurt her reputation.
Yeah.
And like the thing is as much as she might not be as relevant to our generation, everybody still knows her name.
She is,
like, and also like her and Shalom Harlow and like even Linda Evangelista, they've all somehow made a comeback in the fashion industry. Like Naomi's been walking for Balenciaga, she's been walking for Versace, for Louis Vuitton, for Alexander McQueen. Like she's been making herself more relevant. So I don't see why she would go and do something to try and like stay relevant in a sense that's not going to make her relevant, it's just going to make her unpopular to the general public.
Yeah, true.
You know?
I wonder, I'd be like, girl, if you see this, but where on earth how would she even find this video?
You never know. You never know.
True.
The fans might get it to her.
Activists till the bag comes.
Real. Wait, what did you just say?
I said everyone's a human rights activist until the bag comes in.
Felt.
True. That could be about the money. Could be just about the money. We do not know.
But yeah, like, what are you guys' opinions and thoughts of Pharrell and what he's done so far with his first collection at Louis Vuitton?
Okay. So, I actually had a conversation about this on Instagram, literally the night of, and the responses were very interesting. But for me, wait, what's the question exactly?
Well, what are your thoughts and opinions?
Yeah, thoughts and opinions on Pharrell's collection and where you basically see his creative vision taking the brand.
Okay, so for me, right, I don't think it was a strong collection. I even said this. I don't think it was a strong collection or strong enough for Louis. It was a nice collection. There was some really cool stuff. But for me, it was kind of repetitive also as it went along. Like, it was just like I get this print thing that's happening and whatever. But like so many of the looks like were repetitive. Some of them I felt like they were not in sync with the rest of the collection. Like it was not cohesive like whatsoever. Like there were random things like pairs of items that were just, they didn't correlate with what came before or what came after, or even with the collection as a whole. But I think it's not bad for a start. Like, I mean, we don't really know what he's gonna do with the brand going forward, but I don't think it was like a great collection. Like, it was all right, and I think it was, it was all right. Thing is, like, I expected so much more just because of how Pharrell is, like also his other collabs, like, you know, he's also very colorful. We didn't see much color, but maybe that's what he was trying to counter, like, oh, people know me as the person that does this. I'm trying
especially
to,
like Adidas.
Exactly.
They released like, I think it was like 50 pairs of superstars in like 50 different colors.
Exactly, you know. So maybe he was like, they'll be expecting me to do this, let me do that, you know, tone it down a little bit. But yeah, is he the right fit? I don't know. I don't think I can confidently answer that.
I think he isn't the right fit because absolutely no one would be able to step back into, like, I think the way Virgil kind of took Louis Vuitton, the direction he took it into, and like they tried to put Pharrell in there because they were like, oh, similar, they're in like similar culture, they know similar things, know similar people, so like it's kind of an easy way to kind of head back that direction. But when I was looking at the stuff, I realized that like a lot of the stuff that Pharell designed, Virgil could have done like really easily. But then if you look back at the previous things that like Virgil did before, and I'm like, Pharell like can't pull that type of stuff off. You know what I'm saying? So like I feel like you can't find a successor to someone who is literally like the perfect mold of the brand. But then at the same time, since Virgil took Louis to more of like a streetwear aesthetic, I feel like Pharrell kind of wants to take it more traditional in a sense, or focus on like how Louis was before, like the very, very like luxurious. Like I don't know if you saw the sunglasses with the pearls. Like Virgil wouldn't do that, but Pharrell would. But like they have like such different styles. So like I feel like he's not the right fit, but at the same time I feel like no one would be the right fit. And seeing anyone other than Virgil at Louis Vuitton is weird. Like you saw I don't know if you guys saw the Kid Super, the designer from Kid Super, he did the menswear for Louis last season when after Virgil passed away, and like he did like really sick stuff with like the motifs and the bags and the coats and the jackets, and like you could even argue maybe he was like a good fit for Louis Vuitton, but at the same time anyone who's not Virgil like can't really live up to what he did for the brand, in my opinion.
I think thing is like people, it's kind of bad to compare because like I don't think it's fair also to Pharrell to try and compare him to Virgil. I think it's kind of like it's an impossible, like it's just you can't compare them. And I think when like we saw the show, a lot of people were trying to compare his stuff to Virgil, like and it's like, how about we look at it just through one lens? Just at Pharrell. It's just Pharrell at Louis. Let's look at it like that, not Pharrell after Virgil at Louis. Do you get? So, but the thing with me, I don't know. Some people like this, some people didn't. I am a bit in the middle. Some of the pieces or the looks, it was giving very much like his closet, like Pharrell's closet, like what he would wear. And there's nothing wrong with having your style in a collection, but like not like that. Do you get me? Like it can be things you like, aspects of your style of dress, your aesthetic and things like that, but it felt too much like it's Pharrell's closet to me. To me, it was given very much that like he would wear this, he designed this for himself. I mean, there were some cool pieces, I'm not gonna lie, you know, like honestly, but I don't know. I think him being the right fit is arguable because I don't know if he is. Like, I mean, he can do some, maybe he could do some cool stuff in the future, but I don't think he's the perfect fit. I don't think Louis is like the perfect brand for him. Or he is the perfect person.
But it's like, if you think about it, so like how you said you can't really compare Pharrell to Virgil. It's like how people were trying to compare Virginia VR to Karl Lagerfeld when she took over she took over for Chanel. Like, it's two very different aesthetics, and I feel like Pharrell got lucky in the sense that his first collection for Louis Vuitton wasn't eclipsed by Virgil Abloh's death. Whereas with Karl Lagerfeld, Virginia Viard's first collection came out like a few months after Karl Lagerfeld died. So his passing was still fresh, and it was still big in the media. So she didn't exactly get the coverage that she needed to be able to prove that she could take over for Karl Lagerfeld. But that being said, Virginia Viard was Karl Lagerfeld's right-hand woman for upwards of like 30 years while he was working at Chanel. So she knew everything she needed to know about the industry. For me, Pharrell doesn't know enough about the industry. Like, I understand, yes, he's got collabs with different brands, but like, I even saw a TikTok about the show, and I was like, while I was watching the video, I was like, a few collabs with an athleisure brand does not a luxury brand designer make. Like, you can't like differentiate between the two because they're two different categories of style. And I agree with what you were saying about him trying to take Louis Vuitton back in more of like a luxury kind of direction. But while I was looking at the collection, Loewe did something more high fashion already. Like they released a collection, so like a lot of the motifs for Pharrell's things were pixelated.
Yeah.
Like there was that pixelated picture of the bridge that he had the show on.
Even
That was
with,
in front of.
pixelated camo.
Yeah, exactly. He had pixelated camo. He had that Louis Vuitton iconic monogram that was checkered and things like that, and like. But Loewe did like an elevated version of that.
Pixelated
By
clothes.
pixelating,
Yeah.
exactly.
Clothes,
Like
yeah.
Hats
those
and shirts.
yeah, like the shirts that had like the huge shoulders, but it was like all squares.
Like
And
Minecraft.
yeah, exactly. And a lot of people have said that like the Minecraft kind of inspiration comes through in what Pharrell put on the runway.
Very true.
And for me, it's like if a different brand, if like a high-end luxury brand like Loewe does a collection like that, and then you come in as a designer for a luxury brand that's supposed to be on the same level, but you don't do it to that extent, it's not as impactful. Exactly. Like it doesn't convey that message through properly. And then like I don't fully understand what the point of the trunk in the golf cart at the end of the fashion show was, because no one came out of it. It wasn't like there was a final look or anything. It was just like the iconic Louis V trunk, and like I just didn't really understand what the point of it was. Like it was cool.
Like, was it necessary?
Exactly. Like what did it add to the show? Because for me, it didn't really add much. Like, and that being said, from like an events perspective, the show was incredible.
Yeah, I
like,
think just the.
But that's Louis.
Exactly.
Every
show is incredible. Like they like. I mean, to have a show on a bridge in Paris,
like,
to get people to let you block off a bridge so that you can have, and it's like what, it's like a 40-meter walk or something, and having the models walk all the way up and down, like that's it was
even the
incredible.
music, the live music, like the choir, that was cool.
It was incredible. Like it was a spectacle to watch, but the clothes were a letdown, and that's what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about the clothing.
I just think I don't know. I think it might be too early for us to really like judge whether or not he's a good fit, because I mean it is only one show. We don't know what his capabilities are or how far he can take the brand. I think maybe we'll just have to like wait and see. But for the first show, like I was very much like it was very lukewarm for me.
50-50.
Yeah.
What I will say though, what I like the aspect I enjoyed about it is that Pharrell mentioned also it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, like how do I say, like it's the biggest lineup of clothing that they've ever had for a Louis show. Like they never had that many garments like produced. So like from also another standpoint, like it's really cool to see that he has like a lot of versatility. Like he can, like he was even like making like men's skirts and stuff like that. So like it's cool seeing him do like many different things, but like at the same time when you have so many things, no one knows like what to pay attention to.
Exactly.
So like you'll like remember one outfit, and then like 2 looks later you see another one, and then it's like a wave, you know, like waves keep coming and then it pulls back in, you know what I'm saying? So like you'll see one outfit and you'll be like, shit, like that's sick. And then at the end of the night, how many outfits will you remember out of 150? You know? So like it's cool that they have so much like versatility and like they're showing what they can do with the brand, but it feels like they're going in too many different ways.
Yeah, it was
they need
too
to,
much
like,
all at once.
bring it all back.
Cause like cool, there'll be a bit of color here. It's like okay, maybe he's trying to tell us something. Like you know, like okay, we're seeing the reds, we're seeing the yellows, and then it's like okay, we have the camel print here, and then we have those ones. The what's like every time I want to talk about this look, I forget the names. I forgot, but like their fits was like I think almost like a. What was it? Was it like a dollar bill, like graffiti type thing? Oh my god! But anyway, there was this also this.
Was it a jacket?
I think so. It's two. They walked together. They performed.
I think I know
a
what
song.
you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That was kind of random. But yeah, that felt so random. Like that.
Different motifs.
Yeah,
like
it's
where
like,
do they relate?
It's
to
like
each
okay,
other?
the look before. Okay, now we have this. Okay, maybe we'll see a bit of the detail from this look in like maybe an accessory, but then it's like the look after was like completely different. So I agree with you. It was too many ideas. It's like it was like a mind map. Like,
and even if it was like so many things, I feel like it wasn't structured to have like the similar things in like segments. Like how it's what a fashion show, you need to have this first, that
and
second,
then-
like each
yeah.
different category. Like I feel
Yeah.
like they just kind of like rolled the dice and like had people like at random
literally,
go out.
literally.
So like, yeah, like you said, it is the first collection. Like it's hard to judge, but at the same time, you'd rather make a lasting impression from your
Yeah.
first collection than have something that's kind of mid.
Yeah.
So just to like segue from the whole Pharell conversation, like what do you think of like big name celebrities taking over like luxury brands? So like Dua Lipa for Versace or Kim Kardashian for Dolce & Gabbana.
I don't know how I feel about it, honestly speaking, because I don't know, like, just because you have a name and you're famous doesn't really mean you know anything about fashion. Or just because you dress nice, you know, you have a stylist and all your looks, you know, you kill, doesn't mean you know how a fashion show goes or how to pick out looks for a fashion show. Because I even watched the episode of Keeping Up when Kim
was with Dolce
and everything, and it's like, I mean, she did an okay job. I mean, I didn't even watch that show, so I don't even know, like, honestly, how it looked. I just saw like the clips, but I don't know. I'm a bit in the middle when it comes to that, because I mean, it could either fail or work. So I don't know. I feel like mixing this life with this life, it's a bit controversial. Like, I don't know. I don't think designers should really be doing that.
I agree, because I feel like a lot of the times when they're getting someone to be involved in the brand, like Kim Kardashian or Dua Lipa, I feel like it's purely from like a marketing point of view, where they can be like, oh, like Dua Lipa has a lot of fans who are going to be really interested in this Versace dress, or you know what I mean? But at the same time, I feel like what sucks about it is the fact that it's taking opportunities from people who are already in fashion away from them. Like, I'm telling you now, like it's factual evidence. Well, there's no evidence, but like I can tell you it's factual that there's people.
We're filming.
We're
filming a podcast.
Oh
Not
god.
a podcast, but
Oh, this is why you guys look dignified.
You have to join, Mom.
Yeah, you can join in on the convo.
But
So-
why
so-
are we filming a podcast?
We're not filming a
It's on my
podcast, it's
YouTube
her
channel.
YouTube channel.
It's
Is
controversial.
this why you guys
fashion
are
opinions.
lying?
It's a table talk.
We're not
Controversial fashion opinions.
Yeah.
Some people should stop.
So we're
Not
talking.
everybody's an icon.
The question is.
Okay, wait, let me come here.
Oh yes.
Arius, introduce yourself.
Introduce
Oh,
yourself.
hi guys, I'm Mo. I crashed the party. Officially.
So we're just discussing like celebrities
Taking
being
over.
involved with like brands and taking over
design
brands
luxury
and-
brands.
What do you guys think?
We're
a no,
Yeah.
basically.
I think it's dependent on the actual designer.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, I don't think they actually do design. It's more creative work.
Yeah.
And it's sort of putting things together. And
Yeah.
if you had to look at someone like Lady Gaga, right? She's someone who's been doing this for like a really long time, being able to pull the creative pieces together. So if you're someone who can pull these pieces together, I mean, like a Rihanna, we know has failed.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you are able to, I think creativity translates in anything, right? I don't think you're a designer. I think you can be a creative director. But it is very evident that when a celebrity designer takes over a house, the quality of design lacks.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
No,
I
we agree.
as well. Because like, if you don't have the experience in the industry to back it up, then you don't necessarily have that same creative vision to try and carry out like that kind of design aesthetic of the brand in terms of the quality of
I
their
think you
designs.
could have creative vision,
No, you can.
but you lack design capability.
Yeah.
You could, right?
Yeah.
Look at Matthew Williams, Givenchy. He's like his haute couture has been rubbish. Doesn't exist. waste of time, because again, it comes from a different background where he doesn't just. I feel.
But
he doesn't
it's
understand.
he's more focused on like that
products.
yeah, but like even you see like he doesn't seem like the type of designer who wants to be doing haute couture, even though you're at a fashion house such as Givenchy.
But Givenchy is sort of, it's one of,
yeah,
it's like one of the big six.
Yeah.
If you're there, you're doing it.
Yeah.
And I mean, when Riccardo Tisci was there, Riccardo Tisci balanced both quite fantastically.
Yeah.
He was able to give us the haute couture, but he was also able to give us a ready-to-wear that you wanted to wear. I think it was also different times, right?
Yeah.
Where we're looking at clothing in terms of quality of design versus clothing as clout.
But I feel like that brings up an interesting argument in today's time, that people don't really value the quality of the clothing as much anymore. They prefer the name behind it. So like having Dua Lipa do a Versace collection, or Pharrell as creative director of Louis Vuitton,
Mugler,
or
H&M.
Mugler, H&M and things like that. Like people would prefer to just be like, yeah, it's from this designer, or yes, Dua Lipa did it, Pharrell did it, rather than have it be a quality kind of design aspect. Because like it links into what we were talking about earlier about social media and how everything's about
I think that's the point,
just
is that
showing off what you
when
have.
we're looking at the idea of social media, it's completely changed the industry, and in terms of how fast things need to move. That yes, one season we're Dua Lipa, and the next season we're someone else, because it doesn't matter, right? So yeah, we can sell you a T-shirt with a face on it, because next season we're just gonna sell you a T-shirt with a different face on it. There's no need to focus. There's no need to focus on the quality of clothing anymore. I mean, Maria Grazia has been doing the same thing at Dior since she got there.
But it
She's
works.
done nothing. But it works. It works because we live in a commercial world, right?
Then also, Mohammed, don't you think that this takes business opportunities away from people who are actively
I think
in fashion?
For me, it's one of the most annoying things, and I find this with models as well, is that when you're a designer, we no longer, the people that actually do design work have sort of slowly started to become anti-fashion fashion work now, because we actually care about the quality of design work, because we're not happy to just put it on a name and smack it on and move on, right? The thing is, what are you gonna do when the world is paying a name to do it? We've also been a part of, we follow the name, we're responsible for that name being there, right? And it almost boils down to, well, if we're gonna do it the way we want to do it, you've got to look at the fact that it sort of becomes sustainable naturally by wanting to work in a way like that. Because if you're focusing on design quality, you're only showing 2 seasons a year. You're not meant to be making products that people don't need. It's not necessary. But because of the fast-paced world we live in, it's a picture. It's a TikTok. Once I'm done with my look, can't wear the fit again. No, that's a problem. That's the problem. That's one of the biggest problems. That's the reason why it's sort of this idea that the designer brands have started to emulate the fast fashion brands and trying to keep up with the content, and it's just not meant to be done that way. And I think it's started to cause a lot of issues. It's brought up even more issues than you would actually think. It's important to remember that you also have a lot of the power. You're the designer. You have the power to decide when you show and when you don't show. Alaya showed for years off season, to the point where they wouldn't feature him in Vogue anymore, right? Miss Anna. No, but to the point where Azadine Alaya wouldn't be allowed to show in Vogue, right? Because he wouldn't show on season, but he was a perfectionist. He'd show a collection when he was happy with the collection. I think that was more important, because if you look at the quality of his design work, it's fantastic, it's phenomenal. His body of work is incredible. Charles James, same thing. I mean, Charles James would famously have people like not in clothing. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the body of work, it's there. Yeah. And I think it's just you've sort of got to figure out where and how you want to work in an industry that's technically working against you.
Well, that's the way it feels.
It does. It feels like that, doesn't it?
Thanks for watching, guys. That's all we have for this video. I know it's gonna be a long video. I haven't edited, but I just know. And thank you for making it this far. If you made it this far to the end of the video, comment a sunflower, because then
comment a controversial fashion opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll review them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll review
I
them
love
in
that.
another
In
video.
another video.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
do
while
that.
you're doing that, like and subscribe.
Yes. Like, subscribe, and share. And thank you guys for gracing.
Thank you for offering.
Alright. Bye, guys.